I am Rashawn McDonald, the host of Money Making Conversations Masterclass, where we encourage people to stop reading other people's success stories and start planning their own. Join us as we travel across the country, visiting small businesses and listen to how they are running their companies and speak to nonprofits who are making a difference in their local communities. Now sit back and watch as we unlock the secrets to their success. My guest is a comedy icon, known for his razor-sharp wit, unapologetic honesty, and commanding stage presence. He earned critical acclaim for his breakout Netflix special, Chappelle's Home Team Presents Earthquake Legendary, produced by the one and only Dave Chappelle and hailed by the New York Times as the funniest comedy special of the year. He's also the host of Quakes House, his unfiltered and fan-favorite radio show on Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud network via SiriusXM. Please welcome the one and only to Money Making Conversations Masterclass, Earthquake. How you doing, my brother?
How you doing, brother? You know I love you because you say the whole word, conversation.
I got to, man. Articulation. My wife be on me. She be on me, brother. She's the number one good critic.
I'm so lazy with these words. I do convo and just let it stay right there. Convo. You know what I mean? I don't give them the whole word, but you giving them a whole full-course meal.
And she's going to love that, and I appreciate it, man. Earthquake, you know, we all go, we go way back in the comedy, all the way back to BET's Comic View. In fact, let me just tell y'all a private story. I've done it on my show. I met him on stage in Atlanta in 1995. I came into town as a hailed comedy writer off the Steve Harvey ABC sitcom. And that brother was hosting, and he was waiting on me. And boy, he tore that stage up, and I learned what Earthquake was, is, and why he's a legend today. Because you were funny that night, brother, and it allowed me to see at a young age that just unbridled, unfiltered comedy. Talk about doing comedy in 95, and now you're doing the comedy, because we went through that little woke period where you couldn't say certain things on stage or they take in your career. So you went in 95, went through that woke period. How'd you deal with that? And now back to doing the comedy that you're comfortable doing.
Well, I mean, for me anyway, I don't know about everybody else in the game. I have always been comfortable with my comedy because I always could tell if I was ever questioned on a joke, so where the origin came from. And it never came from hostility, bigotry, hatred. And I think I stay with my new Netflix special is I always stay with the joke.
Right.
I think the problem that we have now is comedians are not being funny. What I think they get in trouble is when they try to be controversial or try to be shocking or be a shock jock. But if you root it in jokes, if you root it from humor, then, people, even if they don't agree with it, they can at least see where you came from or the origin of it, and it came from a joke perspective. 95, I was free because I didn't know if this what I wanted to do or not. So I was kind of like, I didn't have the burden of occupation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I didn't know if this was what I wanted to do. I just got out the military and people was giving me money for me just being a fool. And that was better than working for somebody for 8 hours. So I was in the transition of coming out the military. I didn't, I tell everybody, my peers more than anything, this wasn't no epiphany. I didn't just say, oh, this is what I wanted to do. Matter of fact, I didn't even know being a comedian was an occupation. Right. I knew about Richard Pryor in the movie, but I never knew about him doing stand-up and stuff like that. And so as time of not doing nothing but comedy and, at a high level, I knew, and I still know, there's nobody else gonna pay me this kind of money for this type of effort. So I just came to the conclusion, this is my destiny.
A paycheck can do that for you, huh, Earthquake?
Leave my coat in the coat check. I guess this is the party I'm supposed to stay at, Jesus, So,
Earthquake, man. I I was laughing off air with you and all seriousness about your career, and I look at my career, and when you're 20s, you never see 40, and you definitely don't see 50, and 60 is never even a thought in your mind when you're young. But when you hit those landmark years, 40 decades, 50 decades, I'm in my 60s, and you really get a sense of your career and what you are accomplishing, because that's what you're doing. You're accomplishing. You're still in the game. You're still taping specials. You're still selling out. That's a career. And did you think about that? Do you think about that sometimes, Earthquake?
To be honest with you, no, because it's for me anyway. I try to do this job with less form of resistance, and what I mean with I don't want to get. I never got caught up in the hoopla of it. You know what I mean? I never use it as a weapon. I never use it as a person who I get offended when other men tell other men what journeys they should have took, and in whatever journey they took, what mistake they made, and you highlight it. Who are you to tell another man how he should live, and who are you to sit on someone on a throne like your God and criticize this man for his mistake or whatever? I just have a problem with that, and I always had a problem with that with this occupation and how it makes other people treat you, no matter if they're your kids, to your mother, your father, and the rest of it, the deceit in it. So I kind of like just say, can I just get enough out of it that I can live to the standard of living I can without exchanging, making no sacrifices. So that was always my biggest thing.
If you don't know who I'm talking to the comedy icon. I'm going to put the word capital ICON, icon, Earthquake. It's comedy. I'm going to tell you something. When you see a funny person like Earthquake, they'll do things that just stay in your mind forever. It's one joke I will always remember him on BET's Comic View was the OJ joke. And him running around that stool. I will wake up out of the blue and just laugh because I just remember that moment. And that becomes iconic. And when you do humor like that and people remind you of those moments, how do you feel, Earthquake?
It's flattering, especially when it comes from a person of your high standards. I remember, you were always just the orator, the person that you can come to and get the honest opinion on it. I just I come from truth, and the truth, like that joke, it originated from how do you kill two people with one knife?
Right.
What was the first one doing when you were stabbing the second one? You know what I mean?
Right.
When you stab the first one, what was the second one doing? So it starts from there. So then you say the formulation of the joke. Okay, if he stabbed the dude first, what was the sister doing if she was black? She's like, OJ, what you doing in them bushes?
Right.
Get something to eat. And then if you stab the first one, him being fast, you running around the car, he trying to stab you, like, go ahead with that, OJ. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So that's how I formulate it. You know what I mean? So you break it down. That's how I come with it. It comes from truth. And then I put the joke on top of it.
Yeah, and that's what ladies and gentlemen, if you can find it on YouTube, it is one of the funniest, but serious. He's taking a serious matter. That's the brilliance of comedian. That's the brilliance of Dave Chappelle and other comics like him, Chris Rock. I could name a few that are able to take moments that you might deem, off limits. And next thing you know, you're bending over in tears because you went at it with a third eye, a bent approach that people now see the humorous side, because we got to laugh. A life can be too sad for us, correct, Earthquake?
Yes, I mean, laughter is the best healing ever. You cannot have a good time without laughter. It's necessary. There's no way you can describe a great time, an enjoyment time, family time, anywhere that y'all had a great time. Laughter is a main ingredient.
Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Money Making Conversations Masterclass. Welcome back to Money Making Conversations Masterclass, hosted by me, Rashawn McDonald. Let's get back into it. When you get famous, Earthquake, you don't even have to asked to be in the news. They just, you walking down the street, people taking pictures. You have these relationships. People start telling you where they going. And when did you realize you were famous, Earthquakes?
Ooh, when my mother, God rest her soul, started asking for more money. You know what I mean? And we look for it. She used to say, and the truth is, it's the first of the month, and the mailman ain't came back to my house. It's the first of the month, and that mail is the fifth, and that mailman ain't dropped nothing on my house. I had to tell her, I said, listen here, mama, I'm your son, not your husband. You got a man, mama. You understand?
I love it. I
You
love it. So your
understand? I
mama was
told her.
having money-making conversations before Rashad brought up the show money-making conversations, because that's what fame will do to you. It was the same thing with my father. I remember my father, because I'm named after my father, and I would never use Junior, and he was good with that. And then he went in the store one day, it was a Sears and Roebucks, and the guy asked him, he said his name, he go, oh, is your son that comedian? And that was right there. It turned the light bulb on to my dad as to who I could be or who I was. After that day, brother, them jokes meant something to him. Earthquake.
Yes. You get the big piece of chicken.
Yeah,
Sit down.
right.
You get invited to all the family functions.
Absolutely.
Ask your question. What you think? Where should we? You the one travel a lot. Where should we go?
Now let's talk about these comedy specials that I never get invited to. The legendary. I'm watching television. Looking at my wife, going, it's so funny. I watch TV. She, Earthquake. I go, yeah, that's my boy right there. You see, when you're married to somebody, or you with somebody, they don't know sometimes your relationship or your fame. And we laugh and just laugh and laugh. You're Earthquake. Yeah, that's my boy. And then she found out you came to Atlanta and taped another comedy special. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I live in Atlanta. Been here since 2007, and he knows that. But I was not invited to the comedy special. But I told my wife I know him. So with that being said, let's talk about that next comedy special. How did it come about? What can we expect from the brilliant Earthquake?
It was, matter of fact, I had to really put this together real quickly because I had pending things that I had to deal with, and I really wanted to put this special on the books. Plus, I needed the money for this transition.
Mm-hmm.
So it came together after the hit one we had before.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be out in the next 2 months scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
I came to Atlanta because that's where I was born in comedy. I owe Atlanta. I wouldn't be who I am today without Atlanta. I didn't know what I was going to do when I moved to Atlanta out the military. Never been there before. They opened their arms. They showed me. It was just a great place for me to nurture my talent. And I'm still eating off the stuff I learned from Atlanta. So my first one was at my natural born home where I'm from, Washington, D.C. But my second one had to be at Atlanta. And the name of the special is called Joke Telling Business. I'm in the joke telling business.
Yes,
And
you
as a
are.
comedian, I'm the reason I named that I am challenging all comedians to get back into the joke telling business.
Mm-hmm.
Too many comedians fly the banner of saying they're comedians, but where's the jokes?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're doing commentary, you're doing shock jocks, you're being a relationship guru. I'm a commentator on
Influencer.
man's
Right.
maturity and their
Right.
mistakes
Right.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and critic. But where's the jokes? Where's the funny at? You know what I mean? So I just want to let people know, only thing, I'm just in the joke telling business. I'm not your pastor. I'm not here to advise you. I'm not here to criticize you. I am in the joke telling business. So keep your criticism of me on the jokes, because that's the only public thing that I'm sharing with you. You understand? So you have no right to come at me with anything else but your interpretation or criticism or your opinion on the jokes. How I live my life, who I live my life, what I am. I did not give that to you, nor did I sell that to you, nor is that up for debate for you. Because the only person who can judge me what I should or should not be is God. Who are
Right.
you? You understand? And as a man to man, if you have a problem with me, other than the jokes, then come see me and we can handle it man to man, like men
Absolutely.
supposed to be.
Absolutely.
You
Now,
understand? No, you got a problem with it because I'm easy to find. I got a schedule everywhere, and I'm sure you can come pull up and say, I don't like the way you is, and then we'll make the decision. And where I'm from, Washington, D.C., when you have a problem with a man, then you try to come change it.
absolutely. Earthquake, stand-up comedy, I love you. I love you. And I'm just going to let everybody know he has a show on SiriusXM, radio show. 2018, they approached him on the Kevin Hart Laugh Out Loud SiriusXM channel. And it's called Quakes House. And if you're a fan of his stand-up comedy, then you need to start listening to this channel, especially this show, because his commentary, his social commentary, I really believe is the genius of you, Earthquake. That third eye that you have and how you twist it and create common sense through humor is pretty amazing. Talk to us about your team and talk to us about why it's important to do your radio show, Quakes House.
Well, I'm like you, and I'll tell people right here, and I'm not just gashing. You have always provided opportunity for comedians to expand the genre.
Mm-hmm.
I
Thank you.
think, especially as Black comedians, we don't do that as others, as our contemporaries.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean is, you put them on. Whatever platform you ever been when you were with Steve Harvey and y'all was doing all the different things with the radio, you still provided opportunities for young comedians such as myself to
Mm-hmm.
come on to be seen on the
Right.
biggest platform. And that's what I wanted to do. It was
Mm-hmm.
started with my comedy club in Atlanta, Uptown Comedy Corner. I always, any step forward I go, I try to pull the genre, especially Black comedy, to give them a platform to let them know, the people know it's not just me. It's a lot of other comedians out here
Right.
with different styles and
Mm-hmm.
messages and stuff on them.
Mm-hmm.
Quake House is a place where I bring different comedians every show, and we sit around and talk about hot topics. So I like to call it The View with Comedians.
Right.
And
Right.
we just sit around and we just sit and elaborate and we flip it. I don't do gotcha comedians, let them talk about. I think it can be funny without it. You know what I mean? We might
Mm-hmm.
hit a subject on what's the hot topic on an individual, but we don't go after the individual. We go about the subject that the individual find themselves in.
Right.
And then we do the hypothesis. What would you do if you was in that situation? So
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to put a platform for young comedians. That's what we do. Comedians you never heard of, and let the world hear them. And like I do, it's very important to do what we're doing now. And I tell them this, I learned it from you and Steve off of it. You want somebody to hear you and say, who was that comedian?
Right.
Dang, he was funny this morning. When is he coming in my town?
Right.
Oh, he there today? Let me buy this ticket.
Right.
Man, that's how I made my money. Make it so funny that they want to crash in the morning till when they get off work, they buy them tickets. See, we didn't
Right.
have all this. So you had to get that little 8 minutes, that little 7 minutes on that morning show with that funky DJ who didn't, air personality that didn't want to be on there like you wanted to take his job. Don't nobody want to move to Little Rock, Arkansas and be on no radio show, man. Calm down.
Right.
I'm from Washington, D.C. I live in California. I have bigger aspirations than
Right.
be be a morning personality at Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm just here for the night. You
Right.
can have it the rest of the week. I'm going to enhance your show. But
Right.
they didn't see it that way. They took us as a threat because they knew if they heard us, we can be funny between the songs. So that was the most important part, and I try to translate that to them to say, said, be funny. This way you can sell tickets, and sales tickets can translate to be on a bigger stage, such as TV shows and movies and stuff like that.
Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Money Making Conversations Masterclass. Welcome back to Money Making Conversations Masterclass, hosted by me, Rushion McDonald. Let's get back into it. Acting, earthquake acting. I'm gonna tell you something, earthquake. You don't have to tell me what you're doing. You famous enough, I can just be reading Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Deadline. These are important entertainment magazines, ladies and gentlemen. If you go there, you want to know about what this actor doing, what this actress doing, what box office hit, what television hit. Then I read about Fox scripted series with Bill Burr. That's Burr. Very funny white dude. Very funny white dude. Now, Earthquake didn't tell me about this, nor did his PR team, because he's so famous now, I just read about it. So tell us about this series that is in development with Fox.
You've been in this game. It's deals are deals, but who makes the deals really makes, to be quite honest with you, with the possibility of you actually being on the air. And the president of the network, Michael Thorne, shout out to him. When he came to me and the team, 3 Arts and the rest of it, said he wanted me on his air, and he wanted that Earthquake show. And he said he's moving the network more over to sitcoms, because he wanted more sitcoms on it, and he wanted it back to the point when Living Color was on there, and Martin and Living Single.
Classics.
And he wanted, yes, those type of things. And I was floored. And I got up with my man Bill Burr, who one of the funniest dudes walking, and we wanted to just put a show together that merged both of our comedy mentalities and philosophy into a fictitious world. And it's coming together. We're trying to find right now the showrunner for my show. We have the script that the outline of the show that I want to do, and I'm just trying to find somebody to write it that understand it. And you understand more than anything.
Yeah.
My first thing is I need to find a writer to understand that I will not audition for my own show.
Right.
So you will not give me a script that I have to sit down here and study.
Right.
Of myself. So if you love those words more than you love your job, maybe you don't want to stay here and work over here. You know what I mean? So, so it's coming together, and I'm blessed to have it, and it's there's very few of us that get this opportunity at this point in our life by the president of a network, not the studio.
Wow. Some earthquake, I'm just going to let everybody know. When they shoot the pilot, can you let Rushion McDonald know?
I promise. If Ava don't do it, she gonna get fired.
I'm just telling you, if a pilot's been shot,
pilot gonna get shot. We getting on the air, baby.
Get shot. And Rushion McDonald, not in the audience, standing on the sidelines, pointing at you, because you're special, man. You're special, and I appreciate you giving me time. But I want to get just a close out on the personal side, because you can't make these journeys to the next level. Because you've heard me mention my wife several times, how important of a role she plays in our life. Just shout out what makes you tick today, and what makes you flow today, what keeps you even keel today, Earthquake, as we close out the show.
Well, I used to say this joke. People used to come up to me all the time, and I told you all my jokes come from truth, and then I make it out of laughter. People like, Quake, why haven't you, quote, made it yet? I say, I'm one good black woman for making it. Once, God is never going to allow me, nor do I think, in my humble opinion, any man, especially a black man, can fulfill or reach his true potential without his woman on his side. And August 21st, I will be getting married for the second time to this beautiful woman 6 years ago that came in my life that has changed everything. And since she has been here, my career, my focus, she's a true woman that believes in me. She's just not a person that actually here for the benefit of being who I am. It's a person that actually, believe me, it's a totally different that as an entertainer, and just be frankly, brother, as a man, when you're properly loved by a woman that gives you that motivation to want to do more, and happy, your cheerleader, your biggest cheerleader that wants to see you fulfill your potential, not just maintain a status and take advantage of the privilege and the benefits that comes along with the occupation. And it's changed my life. And so God, her, and that together has put me in this position that I'm gonna have my own TV show and another Netflix special and selling out shows all out. And I know the difference because I have been out here playing around for years with independent contractors and the things that look good with the thing, look good with the occupation, but did not have the substance of it. And now to have the substance of it, I see why other men, comedians, and just to be quite honest with it, people was beating me in this game called life because I didn't have that.
Stability.
That substance of a woman being properly loved by a woman, especially a black woman. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
He's called Earthquake. He's the one and only Earthquake. He's the real earthquake.com. The real earthquake.com. If you want to know more about him, his tours, his radio show, which is on SiriusXM, Quakes House. That's Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud channel on SiriusXM. His special. And I think as I close, he's mentioned my name several times about the significance I played in his life, but when I can wake up and I can think, and then that word earthquake name pops up, and I just smile and I laugh because I've seen him, y'all. I've seen different steps in his life from 1995, and every time I wake up and think about it, or just walking down the street or driving my car, I just smile, Earthquake. You are so special, brother, and I love you. Now, that's a sincere I love you, brother, but if you don't have me there for your pilot, it will be some hate. It will be some hate. But it'll be still tied with love, Earthquake. Thanks for coming on my show, brother.
Thank you, too. And you know, Richard Pryor said, I don't know when she at, but she gonna get a turkey from me. I don't know when you at. You gonna know where that pilot at. I don't care when she at. You gonna get a turkey from me.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate your time, man.
I love you, too, man, and thank you for everything you've done in my career, man. I remember, and just to closing out, I remember you was like, it was no need for you to cuss on this show.
Yeah.
When we was doing the thing off of it, you was always a teacher. And I love you, man, and God bless you. And I will take to the day I die, money-making conversation. That's what I tell them. I don't do nothing else. I got to have money-making conversation. And I love you, brother. Continued success, and God bless you.
The one and only Earthquake, y'all, on the Money Making Conversation Masterclass.